after the pandemic, our chronic absenteeism rate rose significantly to 28%.
Which means almost 1 out of 3 children missed more than 10% of school, or 18 days during that year. That's what kind of started was we had a very high chronic absenteeism rate when children went home due to the pandemic. When they returned, we were like, stay home for any reason.
And so we had parents who, had their noses runny. I got a little bit of a cough. I'm gonna keep my kid home for 4 days, 5 days until everything subsides.
And so families really learned that it was okay to stay home. And so when we came back, we realized that we really needed to work on re-educating our families.
On top of that, we also found that anxiety was a huge factor amongst children.
Maybe the fear of the unknown, from being home for so long.
Sometimes I feel like I just don't feel like I'm ready yet.
We knew we had to provide mental health supports to get our babies back into the seats.
And so we knew that if we were going to make changes in our schools, we needed to first start with our attendance, because we can do the best instruction, but if children are not here, they're not learning.
Chester Morrison has a substantial decrease in chronic absenteeism because of all the supports that they've put into place.
They started with the district and then the initiative of, hey, we need kids to come to school. So we came back, really started with the attendance team, brought together all of the people who play a role in students coming to school.
What Chester Morrison really looked at was their connection and engagement with school.
Being in those SART meetings with our school counselor, our community liaison, and really having a conversation with our parents. We always started every conversation with, there is no blame, there is no shame. Our job is to help support you in getting your kid here.
Because we knew that if we weren't engaged with our families, it wasn't going to happen.
One of the biggest pieces of data that we do look at is that A2A data and finding out, what were the days that were the most missed so that we can proactively strategize and plan to help meet the needs of our kids.
Counselors come in and do lessons once a month, which helps them to get to know the children, as well as pulling small groups of students that may have anxiety issues or depression or other things.
We saw an increase on intervention students that weren't really wanting to come to school because they felt like they weren't seen, or they had those moments of not sure of themselves. I wanted to create that safe space where they can know that it's not just them. Other peers are going through the same thing that they're going through.
So a lot of it is just talking, just literally having conversations and showing interest and seeing them at the gate in the morning and giving them a high five, or seeing them out at recess and we're playing a game. So it was really just treating them like they're an individual with worries and concerns, and then just going from there.
It makes me feel good to be with someone as nice as Miss Medina, and that's someone I can trust.
And then we also still saw that there was not only the needs at school, but also some of the needs stemming from home.
We contracted with Victor Community Counseling Services.
I have pretty regular interactions with Victor Community Services, and I could see the difference in the families and just how supported they felt by having someone to reach out to at home with that continued support, in addition to what they were receiving from the counselor at school.
This is a very welcoming school, and I feel that the principal and teachers applied everything they needed to do to make students feel comfortable, welcomed. He also had incentives that he utilized to get students to come back to school and come to school every day.
It's things like our game board that we have. The game board has things like Mr. Mitchum reads to your class, Mr. Mitchum covers your duty. That's a big one. So again, just something to get them excited. Who doesn't want to, get to pie the principal or throw water balloons?
One of the other fun activities that I like to do is we hand out our CWM Classroom Superstars Trophy to the class that has the highest attendance for the whole week. And then the class gets to celebrate together, but I also cover the teacher's duty for that week, so they're also very excited about it.
I think one of the biggest keys is to remember we don't have to wait for a child to become chronically absent to start intervening. And so my encouragement has been to principals, especially of schools that have higher chronic absenteeism, is to start working with those children at the end of summer and as we come back in their families, so that we're hopefully stopping it before we get into this cycle of chronic absenteeism.
The mentoring program really came from our Assistant Superintendent of Student Services, Dr. Wendland. The idea was, identifying those students who are having some attendance difficulties and then really starting to build a relationship with them.
It's really easy to try to be the savior. Let me fix this for you. Let me hold the keys to your future. And I would disagree with that.